So today I will be talking about seven. Seven is judgment, sins, virtues, chakras. Right? It's like where the division happens, and we say in the world that we live in, there's a lot of seven, like in the systems of seven and 7 days of the week, and so I want to go into like seven in that way. But before that, I want to offer a practice for anyone who might need it of facial yoga or facial stretching. And so I'll just like demonstrate and you can follow me. First we go, you want to pull your upper lip down and stick your bottom lip on top. And you're going to take a deep breath in each posture, in and out. Deep means try to open yourself up from your belly, like where you drum. So as if you were drinking water, you'd have to open your belly up. So try to open your belly up, try to relax your gut muscles, and then from there, you take the deep breath. So you could have any reaction to facial stretching. Sometimes I laugh, sometimes I cry, sometimes it's awkward. Sometimes it looks ugly to me and I feel shame. So, you could have any reaction. I feel really good about the last one. I feel like something was released. And then let's move into the next one. So you're scrunching up your eyebrows. You're scrunching up between your eyes, in between these 2 points, like in the middle, in the middle, in the middle. Like if you had to go straight there, like in the back of your head, you're scrunching everything into that, like And then lift the nose. Take a deep breath and let it go. Each posture sends tons of information to the brain about states of being, and also like immediately could send waves of relaxation. The next one is like stretch face, like your arm saran wrap, like, and lower it. My eyes have to be closed because I don't like to look at it. A stretch. As much as you can, and then breathe it out. Let it go. And now, for some people this may be difficult, but not necessarily cross-eyed, but like pull the energy up in the middle to here, like both eyes wrapping in. If you can go cross-eyed, you go cross-eyed. Let the brows be heavy. Let the forehead be heavy. And lower the chin. You're looking into the point where your hair meets your scalp and your forehead, I mean. So yes, any reaction is normal. The next, and we'll do 2 more. The next, and then 2 more, so 3 more. The next is like a smile, but without your mouth. So, like if you're smiling from your mouth, it would go and pull. Here, you're gonna go pull from up here. So, like even pulling from your temples to your cheekbones, like. And let that go. This next one is like, like you stick out your tongue, and then it's past your teeth, so you stick your teeth out further. But the action's first coming from the base of your throat with your tongue. And then lift it up a little. Like your tongue is pushing the teeth up, and your throat is open. Let it go. And finally, the last one is lifting the eyebrows, making a. See, the neck is pulling, clenching the lips, and lifting the eyebrows. I really like that last one. So now I'm going to talk a little bit about 7, right? So 7 is judgment, double-edged sword. We're using our words in all these areas. So sloth. I'll talk about the 7 sins first. Sloth, envy, gluttony, wrath, lust, greed, and pride. And then the virtues is diligence, righteousness, kindness, generosity, temperance, patience or meekness, chastity, charity or mercy, and humility. And so I will now go into each of them just a little. Pride. Outward turns inward. Everything's supposed to help us ends up hurting us. Hypocrisy, self-righteousness. Right? Feeling that. Feeling like where it lands. Go to your root. This is the root, right? So we're in the root. Think about where you're rooted, but yet you pretend you're rooted somewhere else. Hypocrisy, self-righteousness. I'm more advanced, or I'm not rooted where I am. Outward turns inward. This is a place where inward is supposed to come in, just purity, right? The root. It's like you have literally, think of umbilical cord, or the root to the earth as a tree, as a plant, as a stalk, as a flower. And everything that's supposed to help us, the water coming in, it's supposed to help us coming in our privates, like, not literally, but like in our private zone, like the inner world. It's hurting us. So there's something inside of us already. It's not on the outside. And that's when we need help. That's when we need to be honest out loud, where sick is our secrets, and so on. Humility. What is in the heart? Could be passion. Could be resentments. So this is like, did we feel humiliated or did we feel humbled? Humbled, it's like, wow. Life is more brimming, isn't it? And then there's greed. So humility is like, when we're rooted, we could communicate straight up. It's like, in Hebrew we would say, in Kabbalah we would say, when the Yesod and the Malchut are connected, when the root chakra and the chakra to the earth physicality is, the connection is from the foundation to the firmament is like rooted and clear, then there's a straight line up to the heart, if one can do this. So that's like how humility helps us have that I know where I came from, and I know where I'm going. I know where I came from, I know where I'm going. Greed is, now we have the next one, like the tax collector versus like the woman, is a story. It's a story from like a traditional or a biblical context where the hoarding shortage and without giving came, like what we are experiencing is the same sense of like where it's located in the body is in the intestines, kind of, or the sex organs, like when there's not enough, when it feels like I need more, I'm digesting but it's not enough. And the greatest gift is the sacrifice of faith, because if someone gives 10%, that's like maybe they have $1 million but they give 10%, versus somebody who has so little but they give all they have, and it's less than even the other person's 10%, right? So it's like greed is also, if we start to look at communism a little bit differently, and not to say I'm a communist, but like just, or I'm not, I'm not saying, using that word right now to mean this, but it's this idea of giving some. If you have more, you give more. And it could be, spiritual or physical generosity. And then I'd like to touch back on humility, this connection again, right? So now we could see this relationship with all of them, the potential for potential energy, moving into kinetic energy. So the process is opened, the channel is opened. Now the air could flow, and it could start to cause the thing to turn, the wind turbine, and then it could start to cause the flow of energy. Or the dam is opened, and now it's lifted. Or something new, right? Which we usually, if we're humble enough, we could see revealed infinity. We could see the echo of eternity. We could see it's already in our mind, it's already in our body, it's already here. Light into time, space as a line, and then you get like form and shape. So it's like this potential for light, then this potential for time meeting space, and then this potential for the line to have a form, to have a shape. It's like moving into something. It's creating, it's a balanced equation, the spiritual and the physical. And it's because I'm not the source, I don't have to have all the power. And that's in that energy of this power center, not yet necessarily putting it into action, but the desire. So this out of control desire is very painful, I know, and it causes greed or humility when we conquer it. It's like a circumcision would kind of be this idea that if you circumcise here, you understand, probably in your own words, a circumcision is removing the foreskin, and there's some effects that happen because of it. Some people say it strengthens the immune system. Others say it deprives some of the sexual pleasure. But no one could really know, because no one's in anyone else's body. And there are people who have no idea about the pain that I feel in my body or the pleasure I feel in my body, but could still make assumptions about me. The next is mercy and charity. Just how it moved into being about me, and that's the desire, right? So it's perfect. Mercy and charity is now thinking of others. Okay, and I'm going to serve because it's a problem, right? It's a problem that often we don't create these channels that can cause things to happen. We need to make a vessel. I want to touch back on the humility is we understand all we can do is make a vessel. We do something. We put the work in from this place, this power center. We put the work in because we know if we make a vessel, it'll happen. If we take the time and focus and push, it'll happen. Something will birth. The light will move and have something to reflect on. And so yeah, moving into this mercy and charity of God's grace, love on earth, being a collective rather than collecting, this consuming So now we're moving into this power center, the ambitions. Like, I want to have more than just having. I want more. And there's like object, people, relationships, caring for rather than having. Love gives to its like and its image. So even living in love, like being the light, is receiving to share. I'm sure people have heard this Kabbalistically. You share till you're empty and you hold till you're full. That's a testimony, is sharing. So you wait to be full and you don't hold back for later. And being a collector means consuming. Being part of a collective means I have something to offer in such a broad scale. I have so much to offer on such a broad scale, and I care for everybody. I care for the group, for the family, for the relationship, more than just I have a family relationship. I care for this one. I want to invest. I care for all the loved ones in my life. I care for the close ones. I care for the ones who I pass who may be lonely or hungry or, just altogether miserable. Sometimes it hurts, right? So this mercy and this charity comes into generosity, where the fulfillment of God's joy. I'm blessed, given blessings to. I've been given blessings. I've been given to in the form of blessings. I'm blessed, and so I've had channels open, portals, right? That's what this is about. Generosity is, I have had life choose to live in me. That's how it feels, right? I've been in love, or I am in love, or I've been the light, or I am the light. I have enough that I could empty my wallet, idea. Like, I could go out with you all, and sure, I could use whatever's in my wallet and then just continue because I know I have more money. Spiritually, I could just give it all I got, and I know I'm going to be refilled. I know. And envy is negative, sinful, against self, emotions like depression, illusions, anger, anxiety. Knowing when to act and when to stay has a lot to do with this next one, actually. But first, this envy of this power center, like with the mercy, charity, generosity, right? That theme is a lack of fulfillment. I'm given problems, I'm cursed, right? I'm not blessed, I'm given problems, I'm cursed. And yeah, so personally, when I'm inner critiquing myself and telling myself how horrible and ugly I am, it is very difficult to see good in anybody else. And I tend, at the same moments, if I'm conscious enough, which I am now, thankfully, because I make the vessel, I'm able to witness my own judgments more and more, and everyone's in on it, and maybe I'm the only one who doesn't know. Like, that's how easy it can get. Those thoughts come quick, and they help me right away. So there's nobody to be jealous of at that moment, that suddenly there's nowhere to get to. I'm doing enough by being who I'm supposed to be. Who I think I'm supposed to be is just this fleeting image overpowering this center that makes me have envy. So the minute that I'm okay with being who I'm supposed to be, there's nothing and nobody I want to be with, nothing I want to do, nothing beyond what I have now. It would be worse. This is my highest self, highest reality, trust form. Okay. Then moving into the heart space is more of this strong energy, right? This is knowing when to act, knowing when to stay, coming into form. Meekness and patience, which is like discernment. You would call it an enacted serenity prayer. Like, for me, this is like a sacrifice that lifts me up. Like this, what is an enacted serenity prayer? It is, I'm willing to give up anything that's taking away my serenity. I commit to myself enough that I'm willing to give it up. It's taking my serenity. It's not working. I know I like it. I know I want it. I know it felt good, but it's not working for me. That means I have to have discernment, right? I can't always get what I like in the moment. I have to make commitments. I have to prepare. I have to not wait till I'm so excited for it and all I want is it and it's built, because then I might get disappointed. So it's not worth it. Meekness. I don't deserve so much. Let me just wait. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Enacted serenity prayer. That's why it was like relieving for me. Okay, I have to trust the flow. It's like a big yawn for my body. Just let it all go. Like, yeah, let it go. And then there's chastity here, which is, sorry, that's here. Wrath. Wrath is anger, illusioned that I was wronged, or that I am wrong, or that things are wrong. It's a misperception. And it's definitive, it's righteous, ethical, moral. It's a continuous emotion. Anger is like temporary, like dependent on something. I get angry when, or if I'm just an angry person, it's more like wrath. It's continuously like, all of you have to feel my pain because it hurts. And it's like, that's when the heart has a splinter in it. And it just hurts, and then nobody cares, and then and then you numb it, and then you become angry, and how dare you all abandon me. So when we let that go, this wrath go, we start to see I was wrong about who I thought my friends were. I was wrong about my options. I want to do the right thing. I was going in the wrong direction. I have to forgive myself. And then we move into the next area, which is chastity and lust. Chastity is releasing the carnal desires in order to go toward or for two spiritual ones. This is the idea of transmutation. Hedonism to light being. So like drawing up this energy, letting go of one's manifestation for clinging to another. It's about renouncing, staying silent, not always answering back, not cursing, not screaming, not overeating, not smoking, not drinking alcohol, not taking drugs, not lying about who we are. It's so much here, right? And that all comes from below. That all comes from who we ate ourselves into being, who we smoked ourselves into being, who we drank ourselves into being, who we hurt ourselves into being, who we covered ourselves into being, who we lied ourselves into being. Because otherwise there's lust, which is a connection to a false source, reflection of a reflection of a reflection. The voice just kind of shows where you are in your body, right? It's a sound. It comes from your body. It doesn't always come from here. The voice changes depending on how we're breathing, where our gravity is located. And people don't always want to admit that about their own voice, that people can hear in what you're saying, how you're saying it, where you're coming from. We can use that to our advantage, or we could lie about it. And it's open to everyone. But if we pretend and the voice doesn't match the words from here, from where we're coming from, the actions and the voice don't match, and the words don't match the actions, and what you're saying is not who you are. You're being a reflection of a being who's not really being. I'm guilty of this here because I get pain here, and I smoke here sometimes, and I eat here sometimes too much. And I feel like I've hurt myself here. Next is fasting versus gluttony. And the reason that I'm going over here for this is because a blind person doesn't enjoy their food the same way somebody, this is what's said, you want to see your food. Because somebody who can see when their eyes are covered or it's dark, they don't enjoy their food as much. Sitting with God, what do we think? Think of closing our eyes. It's like a fasting from the gluttony of distraction and phones. And think, wait, pray, abstain, choose fruits of the Spirit. We delay gratification. We transcend. And maybe this is because there's like right now it's like eating from the tree of knowledge of opposites. That's where we need to fast, maybe. Spiritual mastery, right? Versus the gluttony here, which is like overindulging, swiping, more attention, validation, online dating, podcast, audible book, book, like this like constant, so much on the phone. But I added book because for me sometimes it's like, I get to distract myself and escape into the story. And my phone, I want to talk to somebody specific and I hope that they have responded to me. And it's like, I'm not talking down to anybody. This is what it is. But this is also where we need to fast. It's part of what we're looking at. This would probably include porn. There's so many addictions now that are not like the throat chakra area, but have to do with fasting and gluttony. And probably if you think before you talk, this area will get cleansed as well. Finally, righteousness and sloth. So righteousness is invoking godly, higher self-nature. Intuition is being created in God's image as a function of God. So this is without attachment or avoidance. This is balance. This is locality, space-time, light being. God became good when he said, it's all good, and it is good. This is like just being good with what is, being the good. Being is good, being is good. Sloth is lethargy. So laziness, passive, like easy, unsustainable, yielding to lack-based desires, quick fixes, and redundant shortcuts, like just taking these shortcuts that go around in circles, and basically spiritual bypassing. So just being in the spirit and ignoring the body and then going into the same problems, being lazy about doing the work because the body needs to do the work. So getting to here, the other side would be lethargy, like unsustainable, being too easygoing and not really creating the vessel in the body for peace and space and non-conforming but non-rebellion, like just being free, being true, right? So that is my offering today. I hope you liked it. It was fun to do the face yoga. I never did that on a video before. And I will hopefully be here tomorrow. And I thank you and wish you well. Bye.